Hi, it's Will from StoneMcCastle.com, and this is part 14 of my wall diorama series. The wall diorama is coming along nicely. If you're not familiar with it, there it is. It's got all different sections to it and all different tutorials about it. And this tutorial is going to be about the Underwater Cavern. So what I have here is I'm going to be putting water in this. So predominantly this tutorial will be about water effects. I'm going to put a waterfall water, some treasure chests underwater, and that'll be about it. But it takes a little bit of work, and let me show you what I got here, where I'm starting here. Before I start putting in the water, I want to know if there's anything going to be underwater, like on the ground. So I've cut out notches for treasure chests, and I'm going to put them in and I'll glue them in place. And then there will be, so that way there'll be treasure chests underwater, which is kind of neat. So I will show you more, and if you haven't seen it, I have tutorials on how to sculpt these treasure chests, and then how to cast duplicates, which I've done. In plastic here, I sculpted the treasure chests, and then I made rubber molds, and then I made duplicates out of plastic. So if you think you might be interested in that kind of a thing, you might want to check those tutorials out. So I'll show you more as I go along. Okay, what I've done here is I'm starting to seal off the underwater sections, and I've mixed up a little bit of Easy Cast, and I'm just brushing it on to try to get as much coverage as I can. So that's going to act like a seal, and it's going to take a while for that to dry. But once it's dried, then I'll start pouring the layers to get the actual water. And I've glued in the treasure chests, so those will be underwater. So there you go. Next I'm going to work on some of the stalactites hanging from the ceiling. You can see I have the stalactites in place. And all I did was I carved little pieces of foam into the conical shapes there, and then glued them in. Nice variety of pattern, you know, some longer and shorter and thicker and thinner, and that way it looks more natural. And then I painted them. I painted them gray. I used a little bit of black for highlights and some green to make it look like there was moss on it. And while I was at it, I put some green in the underwater section here. I think that'll add a nice touch. So I'll keep you posted. Still working on it. Okay, what I've done here is I've painted the background that used to be brown, just as a backdrop, and I've painted it so it has a little bit of perspective to it. So it kind of looks like it goes into the distance, which is kind of nice. A little bit of perspective drawing, a painting on there. That way the diorama has a little bit of depth. And all I did was I just painted a little bit of blue, and then I worked on that by making some of these like pillars here. And there's actually a little dark spot here where the water continues on way in the back. And how you do that is typically you use a little bit of brighter colors in the front and a little more detail, and as it gets to the back, as what you perceive as the back, you get fuzzier with the colors, they get muddier, they get dimmer, and that's kind of like using light. So it looks pretty good. A couple more things I got to do here. I have to cast the resin to make the water, and I'm going to see if there's anything else I need to do. I have to let this dry before I can do that, so I'm not sure how long that'll take. At least a day. Okay, now I've been slowly adding layers to it, and I mix up my Easy Cast, and now I'm just cast that right in there. See it? Now I've been doing it in layers. I'm not doing it as one big cast. It's better to do it in layers. It'll dry better, and it's easier to control. Less chance of a mistake. So what I did is I cast a layer, let it dry, and then I will cast another layer until it's complete. Pretty simple. It's coming out really good. You can see it down there. You can see the underwater section. And that's Easy Cast. Just mix the two together. Mix it up good. Pour it right in and let it harden. Okay, so I finished the final pour on that, and it looks pretty good. It's still wet. The top layer there is the top inch or so is still wet. But it came out pretty good. Okay, I'm almost done. My water is hardened there. That's good. I got a few more things to do. But now I'm putting in the waterfall. See it right there? And that's going to go right in here like this. we go. And the water actually comes up and through all of this, so I'll be adding some more water later on. But I do have a tutorial that shows exactly how to make this waterfall. A waterfall just like this comes out really nice, looks really good. It isn't done. I've got to do a couple more things, set it in and paint it a little bit. And then this thing is just about done, this installment of the wall diorama. Okay, for the bottom of the waterfall here, to make the waves and whatnot, the frothing water, I use something called a gloss gel medium. You can see that. Comes in heavy and light for different sizes. So this installment is pretty much done. This is part 14 of the wall diorama. And let me show you a couple more things. If you're not familiar with my wall diorama, it's been an ongoing project for a while now. Getting close to done. And there's other things in it. There's automation and lights. There's a secret cave there that you can only get through to underwater, and I will be putting something in there. There's of course the castle and the drawbridge, and that drawbridge works by a motor. It actually goes up and down. I have a tutorial on that. The gold mine with the cart and the miner's cart and the little whales here. And, you know, I have tutorials for all of this. Above ground, so it's all an underground complex. The elevator. And I opened this up so I could take some pictures of it, but it closes back up so you don't see the mechanism. But it's a little elevator that goes up and down, and that works. You know, the blacksmith shop, the prison, the dragon's lair, and that's a part that I took out of a CD, and that actually goes back and forth, and the dragon will be mounted on that. You know, and so I'd show you how to do this whole thing right from the very beginning. I even made the case for it out of 2x4s. And this is all foam, terrain, textures, and everything like that. So if you like diorama making and you're interested in something like this, you know, using colored papers and pattern papers, then you know, check them out. I have a whole series of tutorials in a playlist. I'll put the link in for you. Okay, I've just about finished this up. This is the last part of this tutorial. I chipped off the plastic that I used to put on this. I put a plastic in here so I could pour it in. And I've chipped that off, so now the water, it's just the water. And I damaged the styrofoam a little bit, so I'll just need to paint that. But this thing is done, and then let that waterfall dry a little bit. And I'm ready. So hopefully I'll move on to, looks pretty good. You can see the treasure chests and the green and the water and everything. And that's nice solid water. So hopefully I'll be moving on to part 15 pretty soon. Thanks. Lots more projects on my website at stormycastle.com, and all the 14 of these installments of the diorama are here on my YouTube channel.